So grade 12, we are looking at mechanical assembly 4, and we are given the exploded isometric drawing of the parts of a pipe clamp assembly, showing all the positions of each part relative to each other. And we're going to look at the different parts now, as well as the orthographic views of each of the parts of the pipe assembly. It's very important that you encircled all your different parts to ensure that you are going to assemble them in a proper manner. So the first encircled part would be the exploded view that you will find here. And this view basically tells you how the different parts are going to be assembled, which goes where. And please pay attention to the different lines where they need to find their way into the different component. Let us take a look at the part list, and you're going to find that you will have a base made of cast iron, and it's once off. So we're going to look at the base, and there you're going to find your base, and I'm going to put a block around that base, and this is my front view and this is my top view of my base. And I'm probably going to start with my base just to allow for space planning, and draw this here and then draw my top view. And this gap in between is any distance, just to ensure that you start as low as possible with your front view of your base. Then we're going to look at our frame, which is once off, made of mild steel as well. And the frame is going to be this component right here, which is also showing the front view and the top view. And then of course we have our pin, which is made of mild steel, and there are two of these items. They only show one of it. And then there's your front view and the top view of that specific item. Our hook is our fourth component, and that's going to be found right here next to the pin. Our jaw is component number 5, and that you are going to find right here, the front view and the top view. And then of course we have our M10 bolt, two of those made of tool steel, and you're going to find that bolt, the M10 bolt, right there. Our component number 7 is the worm screw, and that component we're going to find right here. That's your worm screw right there. And then you have a lever, which is going to be this component, which is right there. So just keep in mind that this part here actually forms part of your jaw, which is your front view, your top view and your right view, and that just basically gives you the different dimensions. Now if you look at your instructions, you will find that you have to answer this on page 6, which is the blank sheet of paper. And in that space you need to do proper space planning to allow that the drawing is centerized and it all fits in onto that area. You need to draw to a scale of 1:1, and in third angle orthographic projection, meaning that the front view is going to be at the bottom and the top view is going to be on top. The views that you need to draw of the pipe clamp assembly is a half section front view, and that is going to be from this direction of the arrow which we have here in our exploded view. So the one side, which is going to be the left hand side, is going to be in section. So everything on the left will be in section, and there they indicate to you that specific instruction. Also keep in mind that the cutting plane is shown in the top view of the base, which is part 1, and you are going to see the cutting plane right here. Now the cutting plane runs on an angle like that, which basically means that this quarter part is taken away, which allows you only to see the one side in section, and that's very important to understand. Learners, we also need to draw a top view, and you're going to find that the top view will derive from this component, your base, and all things will be fitted onto that specific base part there. But you only need to show the components as they are assembled from the top. Then very important to note that planning is essential and that all drawings must comply to the guidelines in the SANS document 10111. Please, the convention of symmetry may not be used, cannot be applied. You have to draw the entire top view here. You can't draw half and apply the symmetry symbol. Learners, the worm screw, which is part 7, must be completely screwed into the frame, which is part 2, so that point S will be at the indicated position. Let's analyze that one quickly. Learners, the meaning of that is that worm screw here must be screwed flush onto that surface there. There is a part underneath here which will go into that little section, opening section of your jaw, and that we refer to this little part there which goes into your jaw. So that part there has to be flush with this flat surface of your jaw right there. Then of course, learners, the lever, which is part 8, must be placed in the center of the worm screw, which is part 7. Let's analyze that quickly. That means that this lever must be centerized to that hole there, which is going to be in the center of that component there, and this ball has to be on there as well. But keep in mind, center halfway to that side and halfway to this side, which is going to be perfectly fitted on here with the 2 balls on the side there in the half. Then learners, in the top view, draw only the right side M10 bolt, only on the right side, which is the non-section side. You need to show 2 faces of the bolt, which is right here, and then you need to add the cutting plane AA in on the top view as well. And please, no hidden detail is required, no dash lines is required for hidden parts. That's very important. Learners, let's dive right into assembling this mechanical assembly for drawing.